starts with an opening statement.
Yeah, it's just one of those games. We defensively, I thought we were really locked in, played really, really well. Probably as good as we've played all season defensively. To hold a team with that much offensive firepower to 36% shooting is something special. Obviously, they held us to 28%, which made for an extremely ugly game, but a game that was right within our grasp and couldn't do it. They beat us. It wasn't anything that our kids did. It was just they were the better team today, and shots didn't fall and things of that nature. But again, I'm extremely proud of our team and where they went. I think that if you would have told me, and it's no consolation, and if you would have told me that this is where we'd be at the beginning of the season, it'd be hard to believe. We're losing 5 seniors, but these two stepped up and decided to be better than last year's team, and they were excellent for us and led us to 25-7, first outright in 30 years, and 3 out of 4 conference championships, 2 Sweet 16s, a few NCAA tournaments. I mean, these guys are pretty darn good for me.
Questions?
Coach, they needed a shot at the buzzer in the first half to get to 20. Was that the pace that you guys wanted to set? Did you guys feel like you dictated the tempo in the first half?
Yeah, I thought the tempo was okay. I would have liked to score a little more. We just, I'd have to watch on film to see what was going on. We were 3 for 16 from 3. I didn't feel like we were overly open, but I felt like we were open enough. And then obviously Grant kind of carried the offensive load for us, scoring-wise. They just guarded us better. I mean, it's just how it is.
What was the game plan defensively? They obviously had like 4 guys that scored close to 20 points in this tournament. What did you do so well to hold them?
We wanted to eliminate their assists. I mean, we didn't say that, but you eliminate their assists by taking away their driving kick, and we did. They hit some timely shots. The kid hit one from about 50 feet. They hit that shot at the buzzer, and then they hit some tough little runners. The one kid was 0 for 14 from 3, and he shot a 3 and made it, and that kind of broke our backs, the big kid. So they hit shots, and we didn't in those cases.
They were able to keep Justin out of the lane better than either of the 2 teams before. What did they do on those ball screens, and is that the best you've seen on that ball screen action all year?
It's a lot of the big guy. The big guy's back there, and he's got good shot blocking timing. It's not as much the guards. He was able to get north and south a few times, and part of it is the way they defend. They kind of bump you off drives, and sometimes they call it, sometimes they don't. So it makes it tough when he's 135 pounds. But it wasn't their fault. It wasn't the officiating fault, and that's not what I'm saying. But, if they bump him off drives like that, it's very difficult for him to go up cleanly.
Grant, you got into a rhythm out there. It seemed like I feel like you're playing so well. What was working for you, coming in that you'd be able to get those looks and have some chances to knock down those baseline jumpers like that?
I feel like I have that confidence in myself to hit that shot any game that we play in. And I got it going early. And, we couldn't get those drives in the paint. Pitts couldn't get in there. Connor couldn't get in there. So I just tried to space out when they drove in and they found me, and I hit those jumpers. And it was working for us. But it's just unfortunate that they couldn't get some of their offensive going in the second half.
Matt, there in the second half, you guys had gone about 6 minutes without a field goal, and you hit 2 in a row there. Was that kind of being a senior stepping up in that moment to kind of get you guys going again?
Yeah, I saw that. I felt we were having a tough time scoring, and they all year long they kind of sag off me, and I just knew that if I drove hard, I was either going to get a layup, jumper, or somebody was going to be open, and I just was finally aggressive.
Yeah, Coach, right after that, Justin hit a layup that cut it to 4. Did you feel like you guys were right back in it? Did you feel like that was going to be the same old story the last 2 nights, coming back and getting it back?
I did, and then we had a great defensive possession, and the kid hit the 3, and then put it to 7. That kind of broke our backs, That's tournament settings. That's why regular season championships are so important, because in a tournament setting, a guy that's 0 for 14 hits a 3, and then they have a guy that, you know, shoots from 35 feet, and he's a good shooter, and hits a 3 at the buzzer. And you know, ours didn't go in. The shots that we, you know, when we slinged it up there, it didn't go in. And so that just happens. It just, they beat us. You know, they beat us. You know, there's nothing that anybody did wrong or more right, or they just outplayed us.
You guys have had some games both off, and what was it tonight that you know, you guys weren't able to overcome that poor shooting from the outside?
It was just really poor. It was just so poor that it was hard to overcome. But it's not their fault. It has nothing to do with their fault at all. Again, they just played better than us. There's no. I don't pin it on one thing. They just outplayed us, and that's it.
And how good of defense were they playing on you guys, particularly on the perimeter?
It was good. I mean, it wasn't anything we haven't really seen all year long. We had quite a few open looks. It just they weren't going in tonight. But I mean, I didn't feel any more pressure than usual.
Grant, to get back to this point, you and Matt, as seniors, you know, what did it mean this year to you know, continue and get back here?
I mean, it was always our goal to get back to the tournament and be as good as last year. And I think me and Matt talked about it, that we wanted to get back to the Sweet 16 and just make the Elite Eight and just try and win that national championship. And it's just, it sucks to not get this win. I mean, because we know as a team we could have beat them. And it's kind of heartbreaking. I mean, as seniors, our last year going out like that, but it's how it happens.
Coach, last year's team was kind of expected to get to that point, supposed to get to the Sweet 16, maybe beyond. You mentioned this year's team was a bit of a surprise to get back here, but is the sting any different? Does it feel just the same as last year walking off after UCM?
Yeah, I mean, both games we played our heart out, so it's tough. It hurts both times. You know, it's difficult to get to this point. Hopefully we can get over that hump. But, you know, I think that these guys need to be proud. I think the reason that this team was able to come back and to have this much success, the most success that I've had as a head coach with any team, was because, you know, three out of our five starters came in on partial scholarships. All of them hungry, you know, including these two. I don't even know that he had hardly any money coming in on scholarships. He was a partial scholarship. Justin was a partial scholarship. Not that you guys care, but I think those kids played with a high level of hunger and toughness, you know, to achieve their highest, not overachieve, but to achieve everything that they could possibly achieve. They got every ounce out of themselves, and a lot of that is just, you know, tough kids. You know, so many kids are spoiled nowadays where they, you know, they need this full, they need this. These kids came in and redshirted, sat there and guarded everybody every day. He guarded Deshaun, he guarded Dylan Schlake and all those guys, and you know, they just had a chip on their shoulders. You know, they're hungry kids, and that's why they had more success than last year's team.
Coach, have you had such a game where you shot so poorly as a coach? Such a pivotal game, such a big game?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we have. The first time we played them, there's something about their defense that bothers our offense. And so, they don't give up drive and kick, same concept. You know, we didn't give up drive and kick either. That's why they struggled. They didn't give it up either. They just hit more shots than we did.
You talk about the big three, but I think there's a stretch where they got to the basket a few times. I think 14 had some drive. I think it was pretty close to running a run. I mean, you did pretty good other than that little stretch. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that stretch. It was a little down screen, and he curled it and drove. You know, just kind of a busted coverage. That happened. You know, I mean, there's events like that. That stuff. I don't know. That's probably the stuff that beats you. You know, the sling in threes are the things that beat us tonight. But that's why tournaments are so difficult. Is that's why possessions are so important. You can't have turnovers. You've got to get every single loose ball, every single rebound, because then you can withstand a guy hitting that three or something like that. Because they're gonna get shots like that. Like, they're a good offense, so I don't attribute. I mean, it's just good offense for them.
Matt, it's tough now, but kind of the legacy that you and Grant leave for this team and leaving it better than the way you found it. And Coach talked about it a little bit too, but what's it kind of mean for you to your senior year to accomplish everything that you guys have and get to this point and send this team out the right way?
For me personally, I mean, I've never won anything before coming to Northwest, so this whole ride has been fun for me. To get a few rings now, and
3 rings.
and just experience the things that we have has been a lot of fun. And then, I mean, it's disappointing, but we won a conference championship, first time in 30 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Outright. So, especially coming out from, we were in the shadows for a while behind some great players.
What does it do for the confidence of those guys that are coming back to, make it this far, and we got a lot of them with a couple of years left?
Well, you got to make sure that they don't, take this and not learn from it and get better from it. Again, I think there's going to be a void that, almost even a worse void than when we lost the 5 seniors. Just because we still had Matt and Grant that could lead and understood how to win, I think that void's going to be even worse now with these 2 gone, and somebody's going to have to step up. But, they will. I mean, we'll figure it out somehow.
Is Justin someone you look for that? I mean, the way he stepped up in this tournament, talk about his leadership in those big moments during this run.
Well, I think leadership and playing extremely well and being a good follower are 2 different things. And so he was excellent playing-wise, played with great savvy, great control, great IQ. But he also understood, which is something that most freshmen, again, nowadays don't understand, sometimes being a good follower is part of being a leader, and he was a great follower of these 2, and he just followed their lead, and they wanted him to be the man as far as the offense goes, and he was for them throughout the tournament and the season.